Good afternoon, ladies and gents. Welcome to Crypto Chat UK. Now let's talk about the $1 trillion market cap. Now we're going to quickly talk about the $1 trillion market cap overall, the whole market, the whole of the cryptocurrency market, and also $1 trillion market cap on Bitcoin alone. Now I've got two articles. This is one of the articles I haven't really read properly yet, but the other one I have. So bear with me. You'll be hearing it for the first time as much as I have. But the first one I want to show you is just simply about hitting the $1 trillion similar to gold, for example. Let's check it out and we'll see what it's all about. So, researcher, Bitcoin will easily surpass market cap of gold at $8 trillion. Now, gold currently is at something like 7.7 trillion total market cap. That's gold itself, okay? So nearly 8 trillion. And we always compare, obviously, Bitcoin to being gold, digital gold version. So let's have a look at this article. We'll see what they say, and we'll go from there. Okay, so crypto's most fervent crusaders have sought to keep their heads up in this drastic bone-crushing bear market. Now, this article was done 4 months ago, so we're currently not in a bear market anymore. More like in a bull market itself now rather than a bull run. We've been discussing the last few days about it actually identifying a bull run and a bull market. Okay, a bull run is more temporary and a bull market is more longer term. With the way the bear market's gone, we're certainly would be sure of being in a bear market, in a bull market. But we'll keep an eye on that. I'll probably talk about that in another video. Okay, so while optimism has often taken the form of institutional herd is coming narrative, a number of Bitcoin natives have begun to revisit the asset's underlying value proposition. And no, in their eyes, BTC isn't digital cash. Instead, the flagship cryptocurrency has quickly taken up the mantle of being a digital form of gold, rather than digital cash through and through. I've talked about this before in other videos, and it's key. Does Bitcoin have to be adopted? Does it have to be used for merchants for daily transactions like coffee and other things like that? No, it'd be great if it was. It'd be great if it was a currency in that way, but does it have to? No, of course it doesn't. To be of value, it doesn't have to be that at all. It's already of value for different reasons. And one is a store of value aspect, which is similar to gold. Very alike to gold. Now, I've talked about that in other videos as well. Does it have to be accepted by all merchants? No. The store of value is enough, okay, for it. We'll see what happens there on that side of it. There is stuff that takes payments. You can buy stuff with Bitcoin. Of course you can. But the digital value, the store of value option is... We talk about it a bit more here. So, for example, Max Kaiser, an anti-establishment figure and popular industry commentator, put it best when he claimed that Bitcoin is peer-to-peer electronic gold system. In a later tweet, he lauded Bitcoin's nature as unparalleled digital gold, calling it simply world-changing. What I've been talking about for a while. So there's not enough Bitcoin to go around. Scarcity is one of Bitcoin's mainstays, according to a Twitter thread from Dan Held, a former product manager at Blockchain. Satoshi Nakamoto himself mentioned his brainchild's scarce nature in emails, Bitcoin threads, and through other mediums of digital communication. While the cryptocurrency godfather, so to speak, seemingly never mentioned the words digital and gold in a single sentence, Bitcoin has been extolled as a replacement, not an alternative for the precious metal. In a recent tweet, Willie Woo cemented this belief. The Australian crypto researcher, known for his in-depth technical analysis of cryptocurrency, explained why he expects the Bitcoin's market capitalization to easily surpass that of traditional gold. So if we just see what he says, for example, he said, Woo, citing a space-related article outlining the infertile off-Earth mining industry, noted that mathematical scarcity, which Bitcoin enlists, beats perceived scarcity. Now they're talking about, before I did talk about this a little bit here, they're talking about basically, obviously, Bitcoin actually has a scarcity that we know. We know the quantity that it's never going to exceed. Whereas obviously with gold, it's perceived scarcity because one, we haven't mined it completely here, no doubt, but also in space. You think about asteroids and other systems where in the future we may get access to, and we may have the technology to work with a bit more. Well, it could be into, and as it says here, Bitcoin unless beats perceived scarcity, referencing the article which claimed that trillions, even quadrillions and quintillions of dollars worth of gold and other precious metal could exist in near-Earth asteroids. Wu noted that perceived scarcity comes only from the technological limitations of today. So basically what he's talking about there in that last sentence is the perceived scarcity of gold is only from the limitations of our technology of today. So once technology gets better and once access to this, for example, the asteroids, if it turns out that there is so much of this gold and these and it won't just be gold, there'll probably be other precious metals and precious materials that we get access to, well then they know obviously the quantity of gold's got to go up. It's not going to be as scarce. In other words, gold's hegemony as the de facto store of value may be usurped or usurped over time, especially as humanity's relentless demand for gold continues and as on-Earth supplies wane, creating a gold rush in outer space. I mean, that certainly could happen. Mr. Mahmudov, the supposed brother of short-term crypto bear Murad Mahmudov, echoed Wu's pro-scarcity sentiment in a different context. Mr., a student of Austrian economics, noted that even if every millionaire in the US wanted to obtain one BTC, they wouldn't be able to. Now, I've said this before, I've talked about this before. Basically, for every millionaire in the world, I said, not the US. For every millionaire in the world, there isn't enough Bitcoin. It's crazy. But we're going to, I think later in this article, it does talk about stuff that's kind of locked up and lost. But let's have a look, see what it says. So basically, economics note that even if every millionaire in the US wanted to obtain one BTC, they wouldn't be able to. The crypto views added that there will always be fewer BTC than millionaires in the world, accentuating Bitcoin's hard cap of 21 million coins. So, although Messiah's statement may seem flawed, I don't know why it seems flawed, but anyway, especially considering that CNBC report claims 10.7 million Americans have seven-figure net worths. This crypto researcher is likely taking other factors into account. Okay, so they're talking here, a New York headquartered crypto analytics unit revealed that up to 3,790,000 Bitcoin could be lost to the ether, lost forever basically. While this is already a jaw-dropping sum in and on itself, as that amount could clocks in at a value of 13.25 billion. So I think they're saying the 3.7 million or nearly 3.8 million Bitcoins that are lost comes to approximately 13.25 billion. We could probably do the maths and work that out. But anyway, the figure is only accepted, nay slated to swell. Case in point. So it's basically saying that's obviously going to increase kind of cryptocurrencies that are lost. That is going to increase. Probably so. I think it's less than it was before, but obviously we didn't take Bitcoin seriously enough in the past, so people had lost their private keys, lost their access, hard drives that had them stored on, and other storage devices and so forth they'd lost. But now we're taking it more seriously. Obviously that'll happen less. There is still people being introduced who are learning more about it, and it gets lost, and there is other reasons to lose Bitcoin, of course. Once you've lost access to it, unless you got your private key, well, you're almost screwed there, I'm afraid. But there is other things. There is other issues with that as well. So while I should have jaw dropping, so they say case in point, on Thursday, major Canadian crypto exchange divulged that it purportedly lost access to its cold storage wallet as the death of the upstart's founder killed operational logistics. Oh yeah, well that was the case, wasn't it? Basically, the founder had lost, and he had the only way to access it. He died. And the only way to access the cold storage was that. So you can imagine the quantity that was lost. Unbelievable. Never to be able to be accessed again. You never know. Somebody might be able to find that private key somewhere. Who knows? Moreover, it's presumed that the Winklevoss twins, Tim Draper, along with hundreds of other so-called crypto OGs, have millions of Bitcoin under lock and key and have no intention to liquidate their holdings in the near future. Venture capital heavyweight Tim Draper alone, who paid $18 million for his first batch of Bitcoin, owns 29,656 coins at a bare minimum, while his entrepreneur son has likely matched his father's earnings. Semantics and exact specifics aside, Messier's point was there's not enough Bitcoin to go around, and that if demand for the asset surges, supply won't be able to keep up. This simple belief of rapidly waning supply and dramatic demand, which is only underscored by the backdrop of Bitcoin evolving into a global reserve asset, that's very important, like the store of value, global reserve of value. It is amazing when you think about it. Could single-handedly propel the cryptocurrency past its previous highs and beyond. What does this mean for the Bitcoin price? But what would Bitcoin's classification as a second coming of gold do for its value? In the eyes of Lou Kerner, the answer is simple. Speaking with Bloomberg, the crypto oracle founder partner noted that as consumers continue starting to come to the realization that gold underperforms Bitcoin, the asset could easily surpass $100,000 a piece. Now, I've always said this. I think $100,000 is easy. This is where I had my kind of eureka moment when I was studying cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin in particular. I did the maths, simple maths, of course. Looked at the figures, looked at every aspect that was coming into this market. I realised that $100,000 for a Bitcoin is too easy, and it will happen eventually. When exactly, who knows? You know, how volatile it'll be getting up there, who knows? But it will do it as far as I'm concerned. Don't forget, not a financial advisor. So check it out yourself. Do your own research. Learn as much as you can. It's not that difficult. Okay, the information's out there. Kern added that he sees the US dollar as a Ponzi scheme, which could be a catalyst for money to flow into Bitcoin in the future. Of course, more people growing up with Bitcoin, more people being exposed to it, particularly the younger generation as they come out of schools, colleges, universities. Yes, they're going to learn about it more and they're going to be into it more. There's a higher percentage already. The Winklevoss twins, the two founders of the Gemini Trust, believe Kerner's thought process. The two prominent industry insiders explained that Bitcoin, BTC, is simply a better version of gold, adding that the only thing the precious metal has on the cryptocurrency is a 3,000-year head start. Twin Cameron, breaking down the Bitcoin is a digital form of gold argument, remarked that if you boil it down, the digital asset is better at fungibility, scarcity, portability, and divisible than the precious metal itself. It is. All them things are that important. Don't forget, if you ever need to look them up, look them up. Fungibility, scarcity, portability, and divisibility than the precious metal itself, meaning gold. So absolutely amazing, okay? I think that's one of the best articles I've read and is very relevant and very true. Now, I've gone on for 11 minutes, so I don't want to bore you guys. There is another article. If you want to see that article, by the way, that's News BTC. It is a 4-month-old article, but it still stands. A lot of articles in the crypto world do not stand week on week in. But this one certainly does, and there is a few like that. Okay, this one you might want to check out, which kind of is talking about Bitcoin itself reaching 1 trillion again. And could it be during the next bull run? I'm not going to read this article today. It might be a good one. It's on Ethereum World News, so EWN, Ethereum World News, and you can check that out. Will Bitcoin reach that 1 trillion mark? Yes, of course it will. As far as I'm concerned, it's easily gonna make that 1 trillion mark total market cap. But let's see the overall market. The overall market. Now, if you look at coinmarketcap.com, for example, currently the market cap's 248 billion. Okay, last time. Now, this is when we were talking about. We were very, very naive in 2017, 2018. We believed adoption was happening. Now, as part of our naivety, being new to the market, we believed adoption was happening, not such play around with the market, which was really very naive because the facts were there and it was obvious. And it went up to about 800 and something billion. We can actually have a look at that. Probably won't look at it today. Well, go on, let's have a look at it. So the market cap went up to 800 and something billion. Okay, so as long as my computer's working fast enough, we'll have a look. All right. Now, that was near that trillion mark. And I remember discussing with the lads, that it is gonna be at I said, when do you reckon it's gonna get at 1 trillion? You know, we were playing around with lots of different cryptos. I always said, stick to the fundamentals, just have a punt on the other ones. But we were looking at the market cap, and if you look here, right, if we just this is when it went sky high, late 2017, early 2018. This is it here. So it went to approximately 813 billion market cap. So that's on the overall market itself. Now, when will that happen again? Could it be this bull run? Quite easily it could. Quite easily it could be this bull run. This bull market, as we suspect it is. We'll soon see as the year goes on. People are saying that Bitcoin will be at $10,000 by the end of the year. I think easily $10,000. Who knows? We could have some more drops. But I do think it will end the year above $10,000. I really do believe that quite easily, to be honest, maybe considerably more. Will it end up at 1 trillion total market cap of the overall crypto market by the end of the year? It might touch on it. Who knows? Will it be there and solid supported level at that price? I don't think so. I still think we've got a long way to go. Maybe proven wrong, but I'm kind of guessing that's not the case. As things go on, 1 trillion market capitalization on Bitcoin alone, as far as I'm concerned, will be easily met and will carry on. So I think, I'd have to do the figures, but off the top of my head, I think you're looking at a $40,000 Bitcoin then. $40,000 odd, something like $40,000. I think it might be easy maths actually to do. So, you know, you're looking at that. Let's see how that goes. Let's look at the market, keep an eye on the market. But I wouldn't mind having a wager. If anybody wants to put a wager on when that 1 trillion market cap will happen, one, for the market capitalization of the whole market, and two, another little side bet on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's market cap hitting 1 trillion as well. But listen, guys, I hope you've liked this video. Hope it's been informative for you. If you have got any questions, please let me know. I am going to try some live videos. I'm going to do a little test. If I've got a chance today, I'm going to do a little test live, right? I'm going to do a little test live. If somebody comes on, come and ask me questions. What do you want? Ask me anything you want. If it's something I don't know about, I'll do some research. But it'd be good to test my knowledge as well. Just get the questions out, test my knowledge on the things I have learned over the last few years, okay, the last 2 years or so. And it'd be great to chat to you as well. I am going to look at doing some live ones every week. It might take a bit to get off the ground. I'm not a big channel. I'm not that popular on YouTube at the moment, and I do appreciate all the subscribers so far. I hope you've been enjoying the videos. We are going to get more out to you, but perhaps going live, I would like to speak to you guys directly. Let's see how it goes. Hopefully I don't make a mess of it. If you like this video, don't forget to hit like. If you haven't subscribed already, definitely subscribe, and if you can share the video, that'd be great. But also don't forget to hit that notification bell. But listen, guys, I will be back on very soon. Speak to you soon. Take it easy.